Because we're still learning about stock market and we'll be applying about what we learned so far in the lecture. The time limit is only 2 months, so it actually justify our target. Next is strategy employed. We have decided to trade in Ace market as it is more active and will give more profit for the investor. We will also be applying technical analysis by using chart or any indicator to predict the movement of a share in the stock market for a short period of time, such as 2 day or 3 day. We will also be applying fundamental analysis by calculate the ratio of a share in the stock market to see the value of the share. This is for a long-term investment. We will also diverse our risk so that the risk won't be facing the same risk as each other.
Right now, we are moving on to the next part, which is trading plan. Generally, trading plan is a systematic method for identifying and also trading securities that takes into consideration a number of variables and also including time, risk, and also the investor objective. For our group, we find out that the trading plan is important. Why? Because using this trading plan, we can know when we will buy the stock and when we will sell the stock, and why should we trade the stock and why we shouldn't trade this stock or securities. To begin, here are several steps or plans we outline in order to ensure our objective of trading is realized. First thing first, our group plan to prepare ourselves mentally and also psychologically before we enter or begin to trade the stock. If we are not ready emotionally and also psychologically to enter the market, we will not be able to face the challenges and any risk. Otherwise, it will risk ourselves later. Next, by fulfilling the first step of our plan, which is the mental preparation, a good mental preparation will help us in setting a realistic profit target and also the risk and reward ratios. This is because many traders will not take a trade unless the potential profit is 3 times greater than the risk. For instance, we set a 12% profit of target for 1 year trading, meaning 12 months of trading. But we managed to get 4.2% of profit after 2 months of trading, which means we managed to get the higher return in comparison to the expected percentage. Other than that, our group see that it is important for us to set the risk level. It is different depending on the trading style and also the risk tolerance of traders. Therefore, we set around 4 to 5% of risk amount for our portfolio. This means that if we lose that amount at any point in the day, we will get out of the market by selling the stock back. We can call this situation as cut loss. Last but not least, we set our exit and entry rules. We set exit rules before entry rules because exits are far more important than the entries. According to a research, most traders make mistakes of concentrating most of their efforts on looking for buy signals, but pay very little attention to when and also where to exit. Therefore, we learn to accept the loss because professional traders lose more than they win. But by managing and also they limit the losers and also loss, we can still make profit.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Haris bin Azli, matrix number 1203177. I will present about entry plan, and exit plan. To build a good entry plan, we have to have a good entry point. An entry point refers to the price at which the investor buys a security. Buy order. A buy order can be set for a price that is lower than our target price. Predetermined trading plan. So we have to determine a plan to minimize trading risk and remove emotions from trading decisions. Features. We can optimize trend lines, moving averages, and indicators to set an entry point. Emotions. Exercising patience and waiting for the right time to buy securities. Next, I will talk about exit plan. An exit plan is a key to limiting downside losses and taking profits before the opportunities disappear. And just like entry plan, they have a buy order. For exit plan, it has sell orders. Sell orders are a useful tool for acting on exit strategy and can be updated as your view on the market changes. Stop losses and take profit, or we can call it as SL and TP. Stop losses are orders that you can place to close a position automatically. It has three types, which is good till cancel, GTC. This type will stand until an execution occurs or until you manually cancel the order. The order it expires after one trading day. Trading stop. The stop loss follows at a set distance from the market price. Take profit. Take profit is similar to stop losses in that they are converted into market orders when a point or a price is reached. To develop a good exit strategy, we have to ask these questions to ourselves. First, how long am I planning to be in this trade? It is whether long term or short term. Second, how much risk am I willing to take? The risk that are we willing to take is determined by how much you can afford to lose. And last questions, where do I want to get out? So usually we get out from securities or from an investment is at critical price. Critical price level for the long term is often at a fundamental milestone. For example, a company yearly target. And for short-term investors, it is often set at various technical points, such as resistance.
Okay, next we move to the fundamental analysis. What is fundamental analysis? Fundamental analysis is an indicator to determine company intrinsic value based on analyzing their financial statement and other information related to company cash flow. On the other words, fundamental analysis was based on history or firm financial capability, such as the asset, ratio, income statement, and etc. There are multiple analysis methods which are by the concept, financial statement, financial resource, and numbers interpreting. Our group decided to look at financial statement and financial ratios as a guidance to execute fundamental analysis technique. Looking at financial statement tells us about balance sheet, assets, liabilities, and stockholders' equity. After fully looking at the financial statement, we realize how well firms using the asset. Instead, to make sure the shareholder equity maximized, but liabilities minimized. For example, one of the company that we make investment, Top Glove Corporation Berhad, financial statement indicates that their net profit on 2021 was RM 6,461,350. Next, from the financial statement, we can also seek for the cash flow of the firms. Knowing cash flow will give an advantage in aspect like how actually money been spent and received in a year. If the money been spending more, it will cause financial distress. And this is the red flag for the firm and investor. As an example, in 2021, net cash flow for Top Glove Corporation Berhad was 6,460,189. Hence, it is good to make investment into the firm because positive and increasing cash flow indicates firms have enough amount of money to investment and financing. Moreover, we use financial ratios as a measurement of analysis of firm to invest our money. Ratio analysis used to evaluate financial condition and to compare it with from year by year and compare the ratios with other horizontal line of business. Past performance of company allow us to forecast future performance with more confidence. There are five group of financial ratios, which are liquidity, activity, leverage, profitability, and common stock measures. Specifically for this fundamental analysis, liquidity and profitability ratios as main indicator because it is easier to interpret. Here is the amount of ratios from top 4 company we frequently invest, which are the first one, Top Glove Corporation Berhad, Diarga Highcom, Saipak Resources, and Ralco Corp. Firstly, for return of equity (ROE) actually indicate that profit earned by company as percentage of equity shareholder has invested. In simple words, it means return to shareholder, hence falling ROE symbol of red flag to investor. As we can see in the pie chart, highest ROE was Saipat Resources as 5.7% compared to other like 5.6%, 3.9% and negative 0.1%. This tells that Saipat Resources has good return on equity and correct decision to invest in the company compared to Relco Corp had negative 0.1%. Next, current ratio is one of the best measure of company financial health because it measures company ability to pay short-term liability with short-term assets. The table above shows that Saipat Resources has also had the highest ratio. The higher current ratio means company have enough cash, and the least healthy company financial is the RBI High Court because the ratio not exceed 1.0. Therefore, they are hard to pay the short-term liability. As a result, as investor, invest in Saipat Resources was more ideal way because it has promising longevity to survive. After that, debt to capital for all 5 companies measures relative amount of funds provided by lenders and owners. Logically, with the ratio of ROE and current ratio means Saipat Resources has higher debt to capital as 57.2%. Means it highly leveraged and may have borrow money then can easily afford. The least leveraged company is Top Glove as only 18.6% because the amount of debt not too high equivalent to the asset. In this case, better to invest in Top Glove because debt leverage has less leverage compared to other companies. Last but not least, net margin is profit rate that earned from sales or other revenues, means the higher percentage, the better. Saipat Resources got the highest net margin as 18.9% because the sales revenue and the low profit gain was Relco Corp as only negative 0.1%. As investor that want to gain profit at the most, for sure company with high revenue like Saipat Resources is an excellent choice. In a conclusion, company with more advantages in fundamental analysis goes to Saipat Resources because it has good return on equity, current ratio and net margin.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Wildah Amidin bin Muhammad Aminuddin. My matrix number is 1200907. And for our group, I will explain about our technical analysis strategy to invest. Okay. Technical analysis is a financial research that uses market data patterns to spot trends and predict them. Using computer-generated charts and graphs, technical analysis uses publicly available market data to analyze both the overall stock market and specific stocks. And then there is 4 types of technical analysis that we use before we invest in any company. So number 1, we use support resistance. Number 2, indicators. Number 3, we use chart patterns. And number 4, some of us use Ichimoku Cloud. And then for support and resistance are 2 fundamental ideas of our strategy to invest before we invest in any company. It is because technical analysts often utilize support and resistance level to pinpoint price areas on the chart. Where a downturn is predicted to pause because of a concentration of demand, support is found. And when supply is concentrated and a rise is anticipated to stall momentarily, resistance develops. It means the lower line is support and the upper line is resistance. And next, we use indicators. We only use 2 indicators, which is moving average convergence divergence (MACD) and RSI relative strength index. For MACD indicators aids traders in identifying both trend's direction and its momentum. The price is moving upward when the MACD is above 0. MACD line and a slower moving signal line make up the 2 lines that make up the indicator. So the price is declining when the MACD crosses below the signal line. It means that if the MACD line crosses below the signal line, we will not invest in that company because the price is declining. And next, we use a relative strength index (RSI). RSI indicator contrasts recent price increases with recent price decreases, moving between 0 and 100. RSI values aid in determining trend strength and momentum. RSI is most frequently used as an overbought and oversold indicator. The asset is deemed overbought and is perhaps going to drop when the RSI is above 70. The asset is oversold and may rally if the RSI falls below 30. It means if the RSI is below 30, the asset is oversold, and if the RSI is above 70, the asset is overbought. And then we use the third one. We use chart patterns. It is the most fundamental components of technical analysis. Traders use a variety of chart, line chart, bar chart, candlestick, and so on. So by studying long-term charts such as monthly and weekly charts spanning several years, it is the ideal place to start because they provide a good summary. So we tend to studying charts before we invest in any company. And then one of us use Ichimoku Cloud. It is a bit rare. Ichimoku Cloud is a group of technical indicators that displays momentum and trend direction, as well as level of support and resistance. Depending on where the price is relative to the area, traders frequently utilize the Ichimoku Cloud as a zone of support and resistance. It computes a cloud using this data to predict potential future areas of support and resistance for the price. If the cloud is green, it means that the price will tend to go up, while if the cloud is red, it means that the cloud will tend to go down. So we will use that kind of strategy before we invest in any company. Okay, for our profit, at the end of the 2 months, the total profit that we successfully achieved is 521 ringgit, 521,066 ringgit and 81 cents. As stated in the objective at the beginning of this report, our target for 2 months is 4% only, which 1%, 0.5% every week. Only which needs at least 20,000 of increase. It means we target at least 20,000 of increase from the initial money, which is 500,000. So as a group, we managed to achieve our objective that was meant to be targeted before the game started, and we even managed to exceed our objective by achieve surplus of 1,066 ringgit and 82 cents. That's all from me.
Teamwork. We have 5 members in a group that actually help each other with their own capability. For example, a member that has expertise in theory of investment will be a guidance to other members. The member will give proper timing to sell and buy stock, because buy stock is more preferred at afternoon or evening by following majority of investors, and sell stock is commonly on the morning. This is because in investment, timing of investment also plays an important role to gain profit. Next, information like which stocks need to be sold or buy also has been discussed between us in a group, because there is hundreds of stocks need to be looked into. Hence, each member will look into the certain shares, and share information about the stock. This action can minimize the amount of loss because unprofitable stocks has been cut loss early. Our teamwork can be shown as we always remind each other that in a long term for upward trend, it may need correction, which is by pullback. Pullback commonly happen at market turning points, hence it may be overlooked between one of us. We view pullback as a buying opportunity after stock large upward movement. Moreover, between members, we always look at share counter to view shares that have been traded on an exchange. Next, we as a group also use almost different technical analysis and fundamental analysis to analyze movement of stock in Bursa Malaysia. Even though we use different techniques, we still have share outcome from analysis, because we can see different interpretation from each other. If any member do not know certain aspect in the investment game or report, we as a group will help each other, and work in group can be a hassle, but the work was divided equally, hence there will no issue of work overload between us. This teamwork between us also come from the understanding and bonding through the project, through the game investment game.